Howdy, partner.
This is a well car. The Uncle Perduncle was originally concepted by Pete Froth and constructed by Dave Bond, built to be the fastest well on the road, though not strictly street legal. It has 4 bicycle tires, but no pedals. Well, not yet installed at least. It doesn't have power steering, but it does have a sweet captain's wheel. This Krill Seeker is powered by a 36-volt, 21 amp hours battery, not diesel. I've made that mistake.
We'll top her right up.
It puts out a whopping 756 watts per hour, and this humpy can migrate as fast as 10 knots downhill, and doesn't have brakes, so you should probably wear some type of footwear. Stopping does require the Flintstone method. She's a bit of a speed demon, so it's equipped with all the necessary safety gear. And did I mention, it's a whale. I mean, look at its barnacles. The doors are pectoral fins, which makes this the perfect vehicle for my guest today, who, like the Western Australian whale, has also made quite a few migrations of his own. Chris Matthews is known widely as the resident musician at the Western Australian humpback whale's birthing grounds in the East Kimberley, but spends most of his time migrating all over Australia, playing more than 200 shows every year and having made 37 laps around Australia touring over the last 20 years.
Howdy, Chris. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I've just been waiting for a ride for a while, though. There hasn't been too many cars go past in the last little while. So.
Oh, well, I guess when you're traveling through the outback, that must be a pretty common occurrence there. Well, you want to go for a coffee in a well?
Hang on, there's a car coming. Oh, it's not stopping, though. So, hang on. I can't believe it just drove past me. I guess did you say a whale?
Yeah. I was thinking maybe we'd go for a coffee in my well.
Okay, sounds like a whale of a time.
All right, I'll see you in a minute.
Live from the Ningaloo Reef, I'm Dingus, and this is Dingus vs. Wild in a whale getting coffee.
Howdy, partner.
Yeah,
you need
mate.
a lift?
In that, absolutely I do.
You know, it can get awfully lonely out here when you're waiting for a ride in the outback. Hop in.
I'll jump in, why not?
Yay!
Don't mind if I put my guitar on the back there?
That's exactly what it's for, guitar storage.
Guitar storage, beautiful. Thanks for picking me up, brother. Good to be in the whale.
Yeah, this is a whale. Yeah, have you ever rode in a whale before?
No.
Well, step
my first time.
Step one, you're going to want to wear your special whale riding goggles.
Fantastic. It goes that fast, does it?
Oh yeah, you don't want to catch a walloping skeeter in the eye on this thing. Or muzzies. Don't do that.
Oh,
Ready to rock?
I think we're ready. I feel like I'm safe and... Oh, yeah! Like Moby Dick.
All right, you got to be pretty careful in these things. You drive on the left side of the road here. That's a bit weird, isn't it?
Only for you guys.
So your first time in a whale.
It's my first time in a whale.
I can't believe after all the crazy experiences you've had in your life that you've never rode in a whale.
I've rode in many things in my time, but there's never a whale. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the, what is that, old novel, the old movie, where someone rides in the belly of a whale? Jonah.
Moby Dingus.
I feel like Jonah.
Right.
Moby Dingus. I've got to say, it's my first experience with a whale, and I must say the safety goggles are pretty tight, and I can't really see through them. Do you mind if I take them off?
Yeah.
Happy days, right?
Yeah. Just be careful. Just be careful.
I can see. I'll keep them in a safe place.
You're going to want to squint because this thing goes so fast. You catch a skeeter in the eye and it's just all over. So yeah, I thought this would be the perfect vehicle for you today, actually, Chris Matthews, because whales are highly migratory, right?
They are, I believe.
And you yourself are highly migratory as well.
I am. I do a lot of touring around Australia with music. I think I'm on my 37th lap of Australia, I believe.
37th lap of Australia.
I believe so, yeah. I've kind of lost count in the last 20 years of travelling Australia, but this would have to be one of my most unique touring vehicles I've been in. I've been in a few.
Yeah. Well, 20 years touring around Australia, around the Australian outback.
Yes, pretty much, yeah. Mainly the country regional areas, not the cities. I have been to the cities on the way through, obviously, but There's something about seeing this country by road and going to the small places, you know, that don't get music all that often.
Well, and I think that there's a great story to be told from the rural Australia, and one that like a lot of people don't get to hear very often. Like as I said, from kind of the home of American country music, and these guys always sing about how they're so country, the flyover states, they live in the sticks, all this stuff.
Yep.
But like, man, Australia, like, is a whole different animal, and you've been around the whole country 37 times over 20 years.
Yep.
Into the most like isolated places in the world. So like, how does that, like, what kind of stories do you get out of that, and what's the touring like in these most like isolated places?
Well, it's really unique. Obviously, the people who live in those areas are incredible, and they deserve singing up because they're like literally like people out of a book. You know what I mean? You go, wow, I can't believe these people actually exist, because it feels like you've met a character out of a novel a lot of the time.
Yeah.
The countryside is amazing. It's all very unique. Australia, like, I mean, it's a huge country, and a bit like you were driving, very unique. You know, is that the whale?
Oh man, the whale has a mind of its own. You know, I don't own the whale. The whale owns me.
The whale owns you. Yes. You just sort of get in it, and away we go. But that's what the amazing thing I love about Australia, particularly the amount of times I've been around it in different times of the year, is seeing the countryside change, seeing the people change throughout the year, kids grow up, you know, and it's just amazing. There's something about it that I just love. When I go overseas, I really miss the smell of eucalypt leaves and the sound of magpies and meat pies. Don't get meat pies overseas.
Yeah, it's true. Every Outback petrol station will have a great assortment of meat pies.
That's it. No, I've never come across a whale pie though, because why would you? I mean, whales are too good for that. Up the hill!
Yeah.
Come on the whale! Come on the whale!
Struggling.
Yeah, we'll get out the oil.
Might need to refill some whale oil supplies. Most people, like, they think it's crazy because they're on their tours and then they have to stay in hotels every night and all this stuff. But you, like, must have spent a lot of time out in the bush in the swag.
I do.
You know, must have been like off-roading quite a lot. And you know, tell me something about that.
Well, I started touring Australia because I wanted to see Australia, and I'm a country fella. Well, I grew up on farms or stations, whatever you'd like to call them.
Yeah.
So I always thought, well, like, if I can get paid to go to these amazing places that I want to go and see, it'd be amazing, and I get to camp along the way because I love camping. So for me, touring isn't about the flash hotel rooms and the huge after parties and the big booze up sessions and all that sort of stuff. For me, it's about getting off back on country and just soaking it all in and taking it all in. So yeah, I've been in some weird and wonderful places over the years. I've broken down in some weird and wonderful places. I got stuck for 2.5 days in between a place called Useless Loop and Denham, which is like the most westerly point of the Australian continent, middle of nowhere. Broke down in the middle of nowhere. Car didn't come past for 2.5 days, so I literally didn't see anyone for 2.5 days. Someone's trying to kill the whale!
Save the whale!
Save the whale, man! Incredible country, Australia. You've got to be prepared. What I say, it's not all beer and Skittles touring Australia.
Not all beer and Skittles. That old chestnut.
That old chestnut.
Everyone says that.
I know.
I would say that you're like a musician's musician. So meaning like you've been touring for 20 years, 200 days a year, all across Australia. You organize your own tours.
I do,
you do all this stuff. You never really gotten into bed with the record companies, so to speak. And so like,
music is what I want to do. It's what I've always loved. I do tour like pretty much all year and have done for 20 years, which I don't recommend to anyone doing unless you really love travelling and living out of a car and having a really good bunch of mates who leave you washing machines and places to park up. But I love playing music, and that is why I do it. Touring like the way I do does have a shelf life. There's no doubt about that, so I'll get sick of being on the road 24/7 at some stage. But
20 years you haven't.
20 years I haven't yet, so...
Not at all, not even.
So I always just told myself I'm just going to keep doing it until I stop enjoying it, and I still enjoy it. I get to come to beautiful places, and ride in Wales, and it's just amazing. And
so rockstar lifestyle as well after that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, I've never been about the record deal. I have been offered record deals, but I really play music because I want to play music my way and sing up my songs my way. I don't want to get told how to do that. As soon as you get told how to do art, which a lot of record companies and management deals and stuff, they go, that's really good, but we need you to do it like this.
Yeah.
As soon as you do that and art starts being changed to suit a monetary thing, then I think you kind of lost what music is all about. And music is a passion, and the literal meaning of passion is to suffer for. That's what I mean. So compassion means you're suffering together over it.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to suffer for my art because I love it so much and I'm passionate about it. And I refuse to do it for any other reasons apart from my reasons. So for me, that's writing the songs I want to write, playing the music I want to play, going the places I want to do it, and in the way that I like doing it. And I reckon that's the main thing. If you can get through life doing what you love, then you've pretty much won the battle of life. I don't know what the battle of life is, but look, hey, I reckon travelling around in a whale might be part of it, just quietly.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
That's it.
Now,
We're having a whale of a time here.
hey! And the ladies love the whale. Oh, we gotta.
Come on, forward.
Oh, this is not good.
Oh,
We're about to get hit by a bus.
We're about to get hit by a bus.
Damn, he's coming from
Save
every
the
direction.
whale! Save the whale! Oh, we'll stop in the middle.
Alright, well, they're not getting past this. No way.
What are they going to do?
Man, you think this is highway legal?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
And,
No, well.
yeah. Alright, anyway, it's great to be strolling through here, guys.
And there's some of your American brethren on a sign over there.
Oh, man, well, I had to stop by and check that out, actually.
What's going on over here? What we got over here?
What do you think about these guys, huh?
Keithy Urban. Well, he's a New Zealander who people think is from Australia, who is now American basically, but you may as well give it to him.
Well, Chris, Exmouth is actually the home of American country music.
Apparently it says so right here.
I thought you might be inspired by some of these guys.
Tay-Tay, you can't go wrong, but this man here, absolute legend.
Yeah.
When I grow up, not that he has, but when I grow up I want to be as cool, someone as cool as him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on with Garth there. We'll just leave that one alone, shall we? So,
Yeah, I think somebody has vandalized Garth Brooks.
Sure.
Which I'm very insulted.
I'm not sure who that is. Miranda Lambert, maybe? I think it's Miranda Lambert.
You do know after all.
Blake Shelton, is that his name?
Yeah.
And that's Tim McGraw. I know that much.
Tim McGraw is actually from the same town I am.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
He's a very fit man.
Yeah.
I gotta say, when he's always got his shirt off, he's always looking buff.
Wow.
So,
Yeah, that's so bad.
I'm not a huge American country music fan. I love the tradition of it, but I'm, as you can probably tell by my bogan Aussie accent,
Yeah.
I'm pretty passionate about being Australian. This
Right.
is not a put on, it's just the way I speak.
Yeah. I thought you might learn a little bit from these guys.
Well,
but it's great because this is Exmouth is the home of American country music, and maybe you could bring Australian music to Australia, which could be good.
I'm actually really passionate about that. I'm trying to bring back the Australianness of Australian country music because for a lot of the years, a lot of people think that Australian country music is exactly like American country music, and it's not. We're singing up very different things. We don't have tailgates in Australia, we don't have red solo cups, and we don't have grills. We have barbecues, we have beers and eskies.
And you throw shrimps on the barbie.
No, we don't even do that.
And you wear flip-flops.
No, they're thongs.
Oh, right.
And they're called prawns, mate, not shrimps. So
Yeah.
Crocodile Dundee's got a lot to answer for. So.
Pretty big shrimp over there, but it must be a prawn because it's so big.
It is. It's a big prawn. So it's why when I hear Australians singing about American places in songs they've written, it's like, well, why? Why don't you sing about places like Exmouth or Kununurra or Birdsville or Mount Isa or Cloncurry or somewhere in Victoria or somewhere down in Tassie, because we've got great place names like Suggin Buggin and nowhere else.
I know. It's just...
There's kind of like an idea of what regional and rural Australia is, and it's just not what most people think it is.
Yeah.
So I think if more people started actually singing it up and telling people the stories of Australia and the stories of the people of Australia, then I think there'd be a much bigger appreciation for how amazing this country actually is. And it doesn't end at the end of the city limits, and because it goes on, it's massive, it's huge, and it's incredible, and the people out there are just some of the strongest, most amazing characters you'll ever meet in your life. So I think that needs and deserves singing up. It's a very ancient tradition that the Indigenous mob have been doing here for thousands and thousands of years, and we're all following in the Indigenous footsteps of singing up country, keeping the songlines alive.
Yeah. Well, you know how to play the didgeridoo?
I don't.
Yeah, because that would really
I mean, I could make it work, but circular breathing is not my thing. So yeah.
All right. Well, you know who circular breathing is his thing? Apparently Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks, apparently.
Yeah.
Do you know, he just did a gig in Baton Rouge,
Yeah.
and he set off a seismometer.
That's
From the
that's
crowd.
a seismometer. You know that's my stomping grounds. He played in LSU Tiger Stadium. That's where I'm from.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Corlin, Baton Rouge. He set off the seismograph, whatever it is, that measures earthquakes.
Man.
They called it a Garthquake. Well, he probably called it that because he's not short of an ego. So, but incredible.
Well, you ready for a coffee?
I think I'm ready for a coffee. Let's go. Yeah, spin those boys. Oh, we're stuck.
Oh man, here we go.
no.
We got a Flintstone again.
There we go. We're up.
Oh.
I think I'm definitely ready for a cup of coffee. Dingus?
Oh yeah.
What do you reckon?
Oh man, I actually know this really great place. It's called Dogs.
Dogs.
Oh no, Mutts.
Mutts.
Great place. I believe you're playing there tomorrow night, huh?
I am, yeah, absolutely. Look out! Oh. What do you reckon to come a cropper first, the whale or the caravan that we nearly ran into?
Yeah. I mean, I reckon we're gonna cut that. This is made of paper.
No, it's a whale. It's a real
Oh, it's a
whale.
real whale, it's a real
real whale.
Let's just start.
Forward. We clear left.
But yeah, you're playing at Mutts tomorrow night, huh?
We're with Victoria Palermo, which is going to be amazing. It's so good that Exmouth now has this incredible little venue for songwriters. Exmouth has always been a great place to play shows, but quite often they're like, everyone's ready to get up and dance and party, which is amazing. I love doing that sort of stuff.
We're such a small town, people really get lit here.
They do, they really do. They like having a good time in Exmouth. So what do you call it? I call Exmouth a drinking town with a bit of an ocean problem.
Yeah, good.
So to now have Exmouth with a venue, Mutts, that puts on stuff every so often on a Monday night for us songwriters to showcase our more sensitive songwriter storytelling side. It's an incredible, beautiful thing, actually. Awesome. They're the sort of gigs we do it for.
Oh, here we are right
We're here. We've arrived.
Mutts. Great place to have a coffee and a toasty. And let's, and whoa, that's it. Here's they have a falafel truck in there as well.
I'll do it.
You can even grab a falafel. Pretty good staff here.
Oh, look, dude, they don't make it around.
I was just crossing here and you guys are here.
Oh man,
amazing.
Oh, beautiful.
It is
Oh, the first
Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Look
The
at
garlic, the cup.
Amazing.
Amazing.
How are you guys?
Oh man, great.
How are
You
you?
have a good drive?
Yeah, it was a whale of a time.
Yeah, I heard about it. Tom is already
Hey, cars just
everyone
stop for him
talking
and
about. Yeah.
buses pull over
This is
and
the new thing, bro.
It's not bad. We
Caravans drive over.
The whale.
made the
You
Mutts
okay?
migration.
Whale, okay. It's amazing. Well, are you guys stopping by?
Yeah, well, I was thinking maybe since Chris is performing here tomorrow night, potentially he might like to do a little warm up and sing a song on the
Lovely.
way.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Is that the highest of your career?
pretty much.
Yeah.
It's all downhill from here.
Oh, yeah. I think
pretty much.
yeah. Here is like.
I've just been delivered coffee in a whale. I mean, where do you go from here?
See? They have a whale. Yeah, they just come by.
What song you reckon you'll play for us right now on Dingus vs. Wild?
I might do one called Little Bit Long Way, which I actually wrote here in Exmouth a couple of years ago. Actually includes Exmouth in the song as well. So,
All right. And what's this inspired by? Particular incident?
Little Bit Long Way is all about the distance in Australia, how far away everything is from each other, because Australia's a big, big country with a tiny amount of people in it. But even though it's got these vast distances that separate us all, it still seems like a really small country to me because it's such a small population. So it's a bit about the distance, but how we're still all very connected across it.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Okay, yeah, let's do
Cheers
it.
to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers for that, guys.
Cheers.
All right, let's open up the pectoral fin and let's see what you got. A little bit long way, everyone. All right, Chris Matthews with Little Bit Long Way.
is a distance few will ever know. Out here there's a stillness that's only found upon the roads. I drove for 14 hours just to see her on a Saturday night, staring at that horizon, but all I see's her eyes. In the morning we will be, I know just what she'll say when it's time for leaving. It's just a little bit long way. In a big, big country, small, it's just a little bit long way, and that road keeps on winding. Each road can lead you home, just a matter of timing and how far you wish to roam. And that rainbow serpents moves like those big road trains. No matter where you're going, it's just a little bit long way. In a big, big country, small, it's just a little bit long way. From Exmouth to Byron, go down to Freycinet, and it's anywhere to Alice. It's just a little bit long way. In a big, big country, it's just a little bit a long way. In a big, big country, it's just a little bit long way. Cha.
Oh, thanks for coming on the show, mate. Great to have you.
Been a while of a time.
We're excited to see Chris Matthews right here at Lunch tomorrow night. And until next time, this has been another episode of Dingus!